So good morning. Today I want to talk about lighting, solar lighting. I think something that's becoming really important for us in terms of the cost of electricity just gone up again, as we've heard. So we'll be paying an extra 15% as of April 2021. So lighting is a critical thing. I think, for security as well as the cost. Lighting is always, a deterrent for criminals. So it can be very inexpensive to light up a place without having to lay cables using solar, as long as you put the lights in a secure place where they can't steal them as well. I have in front of me a couple of street lights, which we'll talk about in detail just now, and then on the left I have one of the range of our smaller solutions. This is a 25 watt solution. So it's got a small 15 watt solar panel, the 25 watt light, which has a battery inside it. Comes with all the nuts and bolts and brackets and things to mount it. So this one's standing on the bracket at the moment, but you could mount that onto a wall and capture the sun's rays during the day, charge the battery, and then at night automatically it can come on, or you can do it manually. So it's done with a remote control. Literally you can either set it to auto so that when the sun sets the light comes on, and in the morning again it will switch it off as soon as there's adequate light. Or you could have it on manual mode where you turn it on and off when you want, and then you can also set the brightness on the remote control. So you don't have to climb up and fiddle with the light. It's literally you just use the remote control to adjust it. Not a very expensive product, kind of between 750 to 2,000 Rand, depending which one in the range you go for. Fairly inexpensive, but good quality product, about 120 degree angle, nice lithium ion battery in it. Should give you easily 10, 11, 12 hours of run time. So even if you have a bit of a cloudy day, it should still give you some light during the night. And then it's IP68. IP is ingress protection, so dust, bugs, water, etc. cannot get inside it. So yeah, nice, inexpensive solar solution. One of the things, it's a high volume product through our business, not particularly great at revenue generation because you can buy these online in all kinds of places, but of course the quality is the issue. So we test everything beforehand and make sure they do what they say they should do. So that's kind of a differentiator for us. I'd like to now talk about the solar street lights a bit. This is the AOS 20. As you can see, it has a solar panel on the back, weighs 17.5 kilograms. It has this one has a 20 watt LED series of lights in it. Internally there's a lithium ion LiFePO4 battery, 18 amp hour battery. So that battery will give you what we call autonomy of 20 hours. That means even if we don't have a sun for a period of time, the light will continue working. So if it runs for 8 hours at night, you should get sort of 2.5 days out of it without any sunlight. Then you'll notice that there's this passive infrared on the panel here, and what that does is it detects movement below the light. So the objective is to save the battery. So the light is on at about 50% most of the time, but when there's movement below it in kind of a 6 meter radius, it will then go to 100% brightness. And that just is it's an exercise in saving the battery. So it's an aluminium extrusion, strong bracket on it, some anti-theft bolts, so you have to have special tools to actually remove this. So it's a deterrent. I wouldn't say it's a preventative measure completely. And these are good Philips Luxion 50,000 hour LEDs, so they should last a pretty long time. The product comes with a 5-year warranty, and that's a very important thing, because if you've ever traveled in Africa and gone down some of the main roads, they have solar lights, many that don't work and haven't worked for many years because they were low quality, poor components, badly built, whatever they are. We were reluctant to get into this business until we tested this product, and we saw that actually it does work extremely well, and we have sold thousands of them now with not one return. So they really are nicely built. Not a particularly cheap product if you compare to what you can buy on the internet in terms of 20-watt products, solar products, sub 1,000 Rand probably, but it's not the same quality as what this is, and doesn't have the same service life as what this has. So these are more around like 6,000 Rand, but comes with all of the brackets and the mounts. So it becomes a very inexpensive way of deploying street lights rather than cabling, so there's no reticulation that has to be done. And yeah, we know that municipalities are now also starting to look towards these products. The next solar street light I want to talk about is the optimal range. The Opti varies from the AOS in that, as you can see, it has this head which can swivel and you can beam the light wherever you want it, and also has a series of holes in the mount at the back here, so that you can actually cant this to whatever angle you want. Now, bearing in mind that the sun rises in the east, sets in the west, you literally want your solar panel to be facing more or less north. So if you're on the south side of the street with an AOS, you've got a bit of a difficulty because the sun comes up and you lose it pretty early on in the day. So this is where the Opti comes in, is that you can actually angle the panel to whichever side you want and then just beam the lights so that it suits you. So if the panel is angled away, but the light's not shining straight down, you can just cant it to whichever direction you want. The rest of it, and the internals, are exactly the same as the AOS. So it's got a lithium-ion battery. It has the solar panel on the other side, and yeah, also a great solution. Not quite as pretty as the AOS, but it has its function. So that could serve certainly where you have different angles and difficult angles to work with using the optimal range. And they go from a 20 watt up to 100 watt as well. The other light, which I don't have here, is a light we call a MiaCut. And effectively, it's like the AOS, so it's this flush design, but in the head of it, here, it has a 1.3 megapixel CCTV camera, which connects via Wi-Fi, or it stores on an SD card. So basically that sits in here, it's powered by the panel, so it's constantly got power coming from the solar panel, and so even if there's a power outage, it still runs, and you can also beam that camera in certain angles, and that product's about an 11,000 Rand product. So it's solar, street light and camera all in one, that is available today. So that's kind of a touch into the series of solar lights that we have. The MiaCut, I'm afraid I don't have here, but you can take a look at it on the website. It's sinetechstore.co.za, and all the specifications and whatnot are there. But also our salespeople are standing by to take your calls if you have any interest in doing some solar lighting in a development or at your residence. The guys could certainly help you there. So I trust it's been informative, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Thank you.